Okay, this is a 1967 Rawson 30 that I just purchased last winter with my buddy Jake. And this is the condition it was in when we bought it. It's a 54-year-old boat. A little bit worn, but good bones, uh, good sails, a little mildewy inside. But otherwise, it's a Bill Garden design. About 250 of these built. And so, yeah, Jake and I got started restoring it, mostly aesthetic stuff, in the early spring. And this is after I had sanded down the teak rails and cleaned them. I'm applying a teak oil here, and it was the first of many projects. Okay, and here I am applying the first coat of primer. I used Rust-Oleum topside primer, and I just lightly scuffed and prepped the surface. I didn't do any hardcore sanding. Probably should have, but I'm lazy, and I think it turned out all right in the end. Okay, this is topside deck painting day. My friend Caitlin Shook helped me out. You can see the boat has transformed a little bit. Got rid of the gray non-skid, and here Caitlin is just wiping everything down with a tack cloth on the second coat of primer that I laid. And we're gonna cover the whole deck with Total Boat Wet Edge 1-part poly.
In the city roll the glaciers. In the city that now sleeps. And from the second floor balconies, they say it's buried 10 feet deep. All the cars, they swim like salmon.
Here we are at foam cutting day. That's our buddy Boosh. He gave us a good deal on some 3-inch foam to replace all the cushions that were kind of mildewy, and let us use his Yeti Bus shop, which was awesome. And we got to work measuring out all the sheets, taking the old cushions, using them as templates, and cut up all 13 of them.
Ramble on Beaver Tongue. You got your buffalo skivvies on, the mussel shell and serpent song. Ramble on Beaver Tongue. It's a tough trip through paradise. It's a tough trip through paradise. Beaver Tongue, take your drink. Caught up with a band of horse thieves, led by the half-breed called Labrie. Beaver Tongue, take your drink. It's a tough trip through paradise. It's a tough trip through paradise. So long, Beaver Tongue. Take your whiskey back to Yellowstone. The mussel shell is where I belong. So long, Beaver Tongue.
So I'm gonna wipe down these benches in the cockpit and tape them off, and this will be my first round adding the non-skid.
That fireball of flame, they don't ask a guy's name, just his brand of gasoline. Calcium for all people, Vaseline, hypodermic needles, animals on the boulevard. Set a fire on the bus. Bullet casing's gonna rust. Gonna be a long winter.
So here I am applying the non-skid to the cockpit bench seats. I wanted to start here because it was easy to work with, and it was kind of an experiment because I didn't sand off the old non-skid. I just sanded it down a little bit and then prepped the surface, cleaned it, and scuffed it up, and then painted primer, 2 coats of primer right on top of it, and then taped it off and got the edge wet, and then applied the particles, kind of sprinkling them on like I'm making a pizza. And this is called the broadcast method. It's supposed to be a better way to do it as opposed to adding the particles in with the can. You end up using a lot. As you can see, I'm applying it pretty heavily. But the good thing is when it dries a day later, you can brush and vacuum the ones that don't stick, and you end up reclaiming like half of what you put on. So you kind of have to leapfrog it, which is a pain, but it also helps you go slow and make sure you do it right. Shit. Okay, well, I just used up $60 worth of soft sand particles on just these 2 benches, which represent about maybe 5% of what I have to cover. So I'm hoping there's a lot of recovery when I do the sweep up. If the wind doesn't blow it all away when I leave tonight to let it cure. Yeah. So, not super jazzed about this, because it's either I'm doing it wrong or it's going to be really expensive. That's unheard of for a boat though, isn't it? Well, just to show you some of the progress that Jake has been making inside, he has been sanding down everything in preparations to paint. We're going to paint this whole area underneath the little settee just white or gray. He made some new bilge covers that look similar to, and he doesn't have it in there, really cool redwood slats. The V-berth is coming along. Obviously right now it's a work area. And the decision now is to paint this stuff white all across the whole boat, or just to put some linseed oil on it and keep it wood. We're not 100% sure yet, but yeah, we're making progress. Well, that's it for this video. Next one, we're gonna start tackling some more inside projects and getting the all the deck painting done, and even go for our first sail.